So we've reached section 3 of the webinar, which is the how, the tactics. How do we attract, keep, retain, and coach the people within our workplace? How do we keep that talent? To help me through this, I've asked the CEO and the founder of the Open Door Coaching Group, Natalie Ashdown, to join me to talk through creating a coaching culture within the workplace. Why? Because even the best players in the world have a coach. We see Tony Roach there, worked with Roger Federer, and he really does believe that a great coach is somebody that respects his player, respects yourself, and this always has to be earned. So that's one of his philosophies on what makes a great coach, because make no mistake about it, the coach as manager is the way of the future, combined with the mentor as leader, in order for you to be able to create a coaching culture in your environment. So, as I mentioned, to help me talk through what is a coaching culture, how can you create this in your workplace, I'd like to now introduce Natalie Ashdown. So as I mentioned, we have Natalie Ashdown in the house, all the way from my hometown of Melbourne, Australia. How are you, Nat?
Hi, hello, Emma. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, no, you're absolutely welcome. Thanks for joining us. So 15 years ago, I actually studied under Natalie and the Open Door Coaching Group. It really opened up my eyes to what it really meant to unlock the potential within those that we coach. So we've just spoke about how important a coaching culture is within the workplace. And I couldn't think of anyone better to help actually just talk us through what is a coaching culture, Nat?
Over 15 years ago now, we actually started working in the area of coaching culture. One of the first organizations to be actually talking about a coaching culture as well. And the way that we think about it is that it's the skills that we have as coaches. So our ability to ask great questions, our ability to listen, stay out of the space, work with people in a non-judgmental way. It's all those skills that we have as a coach. When those skills are normal in the workplace, when I don't have to say, do you mind if I coach you? When those skills are normal in the workplace, they're what we do around here every day. That's when we have a coaching culture. So when directing and telling people, solving people's problems and jumping in is not the norm, when people are coaching and it becomes normal, that's what we talk about when we talk about coaching culture.
Fantastic. And what are some of the benefits of having a coaching culture?
Well, there's a lot of benefits, Emma. We've been introducing a culture of coaching within organisations now for many years. We've worked with everyone from not-for-profit organisations working with youth homelessness, for example, through to Australia's Air Force. And with Australia's Air Force, we have rolled out coach training to over 400 members within the Air Force. They've gone on and they have trained 9,000 people within the Air Force. They are seeing a lot of benefits, and we see benefits across organisations, such as people having more conversations. There's increase in engagement. When people are taking responsibility, they're solving their own problems, it's a better workplace. It leads to more innovation. We also see things like lower absenteeism, and we will also start to notice in surprisingly a short period of time, changes in the metrics that organisations are monitoring, such as high performance metrics like customer satisfaction surveys will increase, cultural surveys will increase, people say my manager's better. So across the board, wherever we're introducing coaching, within a small period of time, we're actually seeing increases in those high performance metrics.
Oh, singing to my coaching philosophy.
I know. And it's really interesting because it's what we want for our organizations. And it doesn't take much time when managers and when leaders, when senior managers within the workplace, when HR managers such as you all listening to this program and this webinar, it's when champions like you actually start to bring coaching into the organization, we see those changes quite quickly.
Yeah, and that's 100% what this webinar has been about. We've spoke about what
Yeah.
champions have in common, and of course, how can we all access that information? So what do HR managers need to know about creating a coaching culture in the workplace?
There's a couple of critical things, Emma, and I don't want to be telling your audience what to do, but you will know whenever you're implementing a change initiative, those change initiatives must be linked through to the workforce strategy or the organizational strategy. They must be linked through to the organization's values and visions and what we want, what our vision is for the organization and for our people. So what we need to understand is, what is it the organization wants? What are those workforce objectives or those organizational aspirations, I suppose? And how do we link coaching through to that? The reason for that is because coaching can't just be a standalone program. It has to be embedded within everything we do. So it becomes embedded in our performance conversations. It becomes embedded in Australia. We have annual performance reviews. It needs to be embedded within that as well. We're going to embed coaching into our recruitment processes, into the way we have conversations to give feedback, for example. So what we have to know as HR managers, as leaders in this space, is what is coaching going to enable? What is most important to the organization? That if we did coaching as an enabling tool, that would make the massive difference we're looking for.
And certainly, I remember you saying to me, Natalie, once that ROI equals IOR, improvement on relationships, which is exactly what you sort of summarized there. And can you also share, why did you decide that it was time to bring the Open Door Coaching Group courses and accreditations to the US?
Well, there's big changes going on in coaching at the moment. We have been an International Coach Federation accredited coach training program for many years now. And we have had a lot of success with our clients. We know that our formulas, our strategies, we know that all the coaching tools we're using are really working. And with those massive changes going on with the International Coach Federation, we felt it was a good time to bring our quality, our standards to the industry. And of course, we've got you, Emma. So why wouldn't I just spend all of my time with you? And so really, this is just an underhanded plan, just get to spend more time with you, really. Sure, we'll go on and change organizations, and we'll be able to achieve so much together with all the champions that you have on the line here. Of course, we'll do that. But yeah, I just want to spend more time with you.
Right back at you. I love your philosophies. I'm a huge fan of the Open Door Coaching Group, and I'm honored to be able to facilitate courses in the future here in the US, especially in the Intermountain region, now that I'm based out of Colorado. So could you just explain, are your courses actually accredited, therefore, you explained it, but could you just really make that clear for us?
Oh, of course. So we were one of the first organisations within Australia, and an early organisation within the international scene, to actually have our course accredited with the International Coach Federation. So this is our peak body from a coaching point of view. What it means to your stakeholders, Emma, everyone listening, is that we are meeting a series of core competencies that are expected from coaches at an international level. And we've been doing it for over 15 years now. So our course is accredited as an accredited coach training program. It's a big mouthful. Basically, the ICF have level 1 and level 2 organizations. We're a level 2 organization, and the level 3 organization is Master Certified Coach, which is what I am, and we're working on that as well. But yes, you can be absolutely guaranteed that if you're introducing the coaching skills, the coaching tools, if we're working, Emma, if people are working with you, then the coach training that they're having, their senior leaders and their managers, HR managers, learning and development managers, people and culture managers, all of those people that are coming onto your program can be 100% certain that you're meeting the international competency level of coaching.
Fantastic. So how would you suggest that somebody gets started?
Well, like we always get started, it really is, I think, having a conversation with you. Your people can also have a conversation with me as well. We are working together in partnership. So I really think we should have a conversation. We need to talk about what is it that the workforce strategy is trying to achieve, or the organizational objectives? What is it that you want from your managers? What's your vision for how you want your leaders to show up day in, day out? And let's talk about the problems. Let's talk about the problems you're seeing in the workplace now, given the way the world has changed over the last 2 years. And we can talk about how coaching can enable. We're not saying out with everything you're doing and in with coaching. It's not like that. It's about having a coaching toolkit that enables what we want to see in our people. We want to bring out the best in our people. We want to leverage them for high performance within the organization. And for me, that always starts with a conversation.
Yeah, fantastic. So a needs analysis conversation is around the corner. We really appreciate, Natalie, your time for jumping on and sharing the Open Door Coaching Philosophy certifications with us. We're excited about bringing them to the US, and I appreciate everything you do. So thank you for making me a better coach.
You are very welcome, and thank you, Emma, for making me a better coach, because that's what we do. That's the way we work together, and I can't wait to share everything we're doing with your coaching champions.
So we've reached section 4, the game plan. It's all about taking action, as we know. And if you've enjoyed my energy and this presentation so far, I'd love to come out and work with your team and help you attract, retain, and coach talent in your workplace. This is a workshop that I ran with Superstar. In the chat box, anyone recognize who this superstar is, who has retired now? But it was Virgin Australia's frequent flyer clients, like their top end tier clients, and Maria Sharapova on one court. And I had to make sure that everyone played with her, played against her, make sure she was happy, she didn't run too much, and of course, ask her great questions that could engage the audience. Super fun day. She did ask me how many coffees I'd had, and it was 7 o'clock in the morning when we ran this session, and I actually hadn't had any at that point. But I love working with teams. I really enjoyed working with Claude Silver from VaynerMedia and their whole team there called the Empower Hour. So regardless if you'd like me to do speaking, mentoring, and coaching, here is your game plan. So step 1 in taking action, super simple. Download the brochure if you'd like to learn more about the high performance coaching certification through Natalie Ashdown's Open Door Coaching Group that I'll be rolling out in the US. Step 2, let's jump on a call. Let's do a needs analysis, find out what your challenges are and see if we're a good fit. Off the back of that needs analysis, we've got executive coaching as one option. And of course, as I mentioned, the high performance coaching certification we can roll out within your organization. And I'd be more than happy if you're looking for someone to help turn motivation into activation and speak at one of your events. Okay, so what is it that you need to do? Simply text that number that you see on the screen, and I'd be more than happy to go through a 25-minute needs analysis call with you. And if you take action, we love people who take action. It's one of the traits of a champion mindset. I'll give you a PDF copy of the research on what makes a great coach. So we looked at over 500 leading business and tennis coaches, as in what makes a great coach. And I'd love to share that research with you. Also, as promised, I said that I would share what Roger Federer said makes a great coach. So this was in 2014, as he was walking from the tennis club back to his helicopter. I think he accidentally turned around and put his arm around me by accident, but I was there to catch him, so to speak. He said, what makes a great coach is someone who listens. So thank you very much for listening. I appreciate everyone's time. So in the words of motivational speaker Roger Crawford, he said, talent is not nearly as important as execution. Yet another great high performance mindset tip. That was on the coaching podcast that I run with Simon Blair, which is Coach for Success in both sport and business. And my new book, What Makes a Great Coach, is coming out soon. I collaborated on the book with Natalie Ashdown, who you met earlier. So I'm very grateful to Natalie. I'm so excited to bring you the qualities of what makes a great coach, so we can bring those within ourselves and, of course, within the workplace to attract, keep, and coach talent. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you to the Human Resource Mile High Society. I appreciate everyone's time, and it's time that we'll all never get back. So, as I like to say, the ball, as in the Ted Lasso Believe ball, is always in your court. Bye, everybody.